What's going on, everybody? I'm Screech, you're watching Retro Card Collector, and this is 10 games of my NES Collection, Volume 3. Alright, so game number 21 on my list is going to be Super Mario Bros. 2. So this one I remember getting as a kid and playing it and thinking, this doesn't seem like Super Mario. Something just seemed off about it. I mean, I'd played a lot of Mario 1, and when this came out, I was like, what are they doing here exactly? And now I understand that in Japan, there was a Super Mario Bros. 2 that was basically an expansion of the levels of Super Mario Bros. 1. Everything was exactly the same, but the levels were a lot harder. And when they tried to bring it over here, they thought, this probably isn't going to work in North America. So they actually took a game called Doki Doki Panic in Japan and reskinned it, made it into Super Mario Bros. 2 that we know it. And really, it is Super Mario Bros. 2 because it establishes a lot of characters, items, things that are still in the franchise to this day, which really make it a really cool game, even though at the time I was a little taken aback by it because it didn't quite feel like Mario to me. And then when Super Mario Bros. 3 came out, I was fully on board with Super Mario Bros. Fever again. But this one was just a little different, and now that I understand why, it makes a lot of sense. But number 21 on my list is going to be Super Mario Bros. 2. On to number 22 on my list, and it's going to be Days of Thunder. Now, I remember the movie when it came out. I remember watching it and thinking, oh man, NASCAR is so cool. I never watched NASCAR. It wasn't really a thing where I live as prevalently as it is down south, but here it was Days of Thunder, and then had the game, and it was really weird. Once you kind of figure it out, it's a little easier, but that pit stop, oh, that pit stop is insanely hard. I don't know, I've never come in any real placing in this. I'm always last.
If you ain't first, you're last, you know?
Because I take forever in the pit stop and it's horrible. But Days of Thunder is a cool one because it's from the movie, and it's not that bad of a game. It's just a little hard, but it's got some weirdness to it, but it's not a bad game. So number 22 on my list is going to be Days of Thunder. Number 23 on my list is another one that is iconic for the NES. This is a pretty big deal here when it came out. It's still a pretty big deal to today. So number 23 on my list is going to be Mega Man. Mega Man number 1, the very first Mega Man. I remember renting this and playing it and just falling in love with all the characters and all the little robot monsters and everything about it, and just thinking, this is so cool. And it's the start of the Mega Man series, that whole franchise. So this game is always going to be iconic, and I'm always going to have fond memories of playing it along with the other ones, because I remember renting this one, and then I remember renting the other ones as they were coming out and thinking, oh, this is so cool. They're all kind of different, but all kind of the same at the same time. And it's Mega Man. It's awesome. So number 23 on my list is going to be Mega Man. Number 24 on my list is going to be Kirbys Adventures. So Kirbys Adventures, this is going to be the second Kirby game. The first one was going to be for the Game Boy, and then this one came out after. It kind of expanded on that Game Boy one. Nintendo's hardware had a little bit different stuff it could do. So it was a really cool game. I didn't play this one until I was an adult. I did play Kirby on the Game Boy a little bit when I was a kid, but Kirbys Adventure here, this is a good one. If you haven't played it, I would check it out. Kirby's cute. Kirby's awesome. Everyone loves Kirby. I like that you can get the different powers from the different enemies and all that stuff. I like the sword. I feel like Kirby Leonardo with the sword. And it's a great game. So number 24 on my list is going to be Kirby's Adventure. Number 25 on my list is going to be another one of those ones that I saw a lot of advertisement for, but I never really played as a kid. And that was basis for why I wanted it so bad when I started collecting these games, is because I remember seeing all the ads and stuff for it and being like, oh man, I bet you that's cool. And it really is. Number 25 on my list is going to be Cobra Triangle. Now this one's really cool. You get to rip around in a boat. It's kind of like an RC Pro-Am type thing, but boating. You're shooting, you're ripping around, doing different things. The levels get a little different as you go. There's a lot of playability to it, and it's a great game. If you haven't played Cobra Triangle, I highly suggest trying it out because it is a super fun game, and it is just really neat overall. So number 25 on my list is going to be Cobra Triangle.
26.
Number 26 on my list, we're gonna have Wolverine. Now, Wolverine is an LJN game, and we talked about it already in volume 2 of this, but LJN, not the best name in games back then, but Wolverine was actually really cool. I really enjoyed it. It's a lot of jumping around, kind of platformy stuff. I like that you can bring your claws out and do that stuff. And Wolverine he was pretty BA back then. So just the fact that he had his own game was awesome. And that really led a lot of us to want to play it. So number 26 on my list is going to be Wolverine.
27.
All right, so I feel like we need to talk about number 27 on my list. Number 27 on my list is a game that I feel like a lot of us have never made it past stage 3 on. I would say the vast majority of us probably haven't made it past stage 3 on, and it's not Ninja Turtles. It's going to be Battletoads. Number 27 on my list is going to be Battletoads. Now, it was such a cool concept. Ninja Turtles were just huge. And then when they came out with Battletoads, I remember being hyped for Battletoads. And then getting a hold of it and playing those first 2 levels and thinking, this is amazing. And then about a third of the way into the 3rd level, you get on those speeder bikes. And that was the end of it for me. I've never, to this day, I have never made it past the speeder bikes on Battletoads. And you can say I'm a loser for it, but it's hard, and you're a better person than me if you can make it past that speeder bike level. Like, I cannot for the life of me. I can't keep the timing. I can't keep the jumps. I have no idea what's coming, and I can't remember because I get so frustrated and like anxious about the speeder bike level that I can barely make it to it, let alone through it.
Loser.
So, number 27 on my list is going to be an awesome concept for a game, and really an awesome game up to level 2, 3.5, 3.25. Battletoads is number 27 on my list.
Ouch town population, you bro.
28.
Number 28 on my list is going to be Tiny Toons Adventures. Now, I like this one. I have fond memories of playing this one as a kid. I like that you could pick a character to be with, like your alter character at the start. You could be Dizzy Devil, you could be Plucky Duck, or you could be the cat. I can't remember the cat's name off the top of my head right now. I just remember this game being super fun. It's Tiny Toons. Tiny Toons, the cartoon, was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. I have a lot of good memories of the Spring Break movie that they did, or the extended episode of whatever it was, but I have fond memories of that cartoon series, and I have fond memories of this game. This game, I threw it in to test it out, make sure everything was working here, and this game took me right back. Like, I felt like I was that age sitting there playing it again, and there's something special about a game that can do that, and I feel like the Nintendo has a lot of those games where you put it in the system, you turn it on, and all of a sudden you're 8 years old again, and you're sitting there feeling all those feelings and having all that emotion all over again, which says a lot, I think, for the system and the games that were produced for it. So number 28 in my collection is going to be Tiny Toons Adventures.
29er.
So speaking of games that just took me right back to that time in my life is going to be Disney's Adventures in the Magic Kingdom by Capcom. Now this one, you were in Disneyland, you were in one of the parks, one of the Disney parks, let's say. It felt like Disneyland to me. And this is a time when The Wonderful World of Disney came on Sunday nights on TV. And the intro to that had all of those scenes of like Disneyland, Walt Disney World, all that stuff. And I remember watching that and wanting to be there and then playing this game. And this game was basically my outlet to going to Disneyland. Number 29 on my list is going to be one that tugs at my heartstrings. Disney's Adventures in the Magic Kingdom.
$30.
And we've hit number 30. Now, again, this is in no particular order. This isn't game number 30 on the best of list or anything like that, because this one is way higher on that list. If there is a list, I'm not saying there is, that's official, but if there is, this one should be a lot higher on it. So this is just the games in my collection, and we're just going through the ones I have. This is just number 30 in an arbitrary list of games in my collection. We're going to count all the way through, so tune in next Friday for the next episode for Volume 4 of this. But in the meantime, number 30 on my list is going to be Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link. Now, I had this one as a kid, and I remember taking this to my cousin's place, and they had just like finished the first Zelda, and they were so hyped for this. And I remember them finding out that we had this, and then they just wanted to borrow it and play it. So I think we lent it to them like right away. Like I think I might have played like 5 minutes of it, and we lent it to them to try it because they were so excited about it. And I remember just feeling that excitement from them. And then when they gave it back to me after they'd played it for a while, I remember they were so excited about it and told me how good it was and how much I needed to try it, that when I put it in and I couldn't make it past like the third little area, like the third cave, I remember being like, what the heck is this?
What the heck is that?
So this one, I have a lot of fond memories of all that stuff. I have beat it. I beat it as an adult finally. This game is always going to be iconic to me. So that's why it's going to be number 30 on my list. And with that, that's another 10 games in my NES collection. So, same as last time, go out, play some of these games, check them out, share your memories of any of these games in the comments. I want to hear about them. I want to know what you have for awesome memories of some of these games. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. And until next time, see you later.